Hi, you know what I just realized? So I had just realized, I mean, technically, it's kind of obvious, and I feel like we've all had it somewhat in the back of our head, perhaps. But things, things in the world, there's been two ways. Things have been falling and things have been rising, right? There's a lot of chaos, yet there's a lot of light coming in. Everything's really just intensifying all at once. And I guess what I want to do with this video, I want to give some hope, um, because I'm seeing things really, let's call it bright. Uh, I know it's a little like, what are you talking about in this world? How, just it just doesn't look very good. But here's the thing, the frequency is rising. We are continuing to rise up. We are in a higher octave now. Energetically, things have changed. The physical needs to catch up. And so, while things are falling apart right now, usually for somebody to make a change in their world, a lot of bad things usually are unfolding for that individual, for them to kind of be okay with making the shifts that they need to make in order to get to where they need to get to, which is, you know, in a good, healthy place, higher frequency, let's call it that. And for somebody to arrive to such a place to which they could, I guess, go to, I've said this for years, a person kind of needs to be, it's usually just the case, just the way things unfold. They usually go through have to fall down on their knees to make changes. Does that make sense? If you've been through it, you know what I mean. Sometimes people don't just make the change before, the emergency period, because when things need to end, they're going to end. And we could try to hold on, but when things energetically have changed, things will change physically. It doesn't work. It doesn't stay when we try to hold on to things that are just of the old. So I'm seeing it within me very bright, because everybody's so lost, confused, and hurt right now, that I'm seeing that, first of all, a lot of people already are doing this, but that a lot of people will be going inward and being more open to change. So basically a lot of internal shifting, I guess, to follow the energetic shift that we have been undergoing. New Earth has been unfolding. New Earth has been unfolding through individuals that have lived by that frequency within them. And as they lived through that frequency within them, they, lived out in the world. So it becomes external as they live out in the world. Wherever they go, they energetically influence. Whatever they do, they energetically influence. And that's the 5D frequency. That's the having your just inner world be at a frequency that from which this emanates. I guess that's what it is. It's an emanation, not just the actions themselves, but the being. So not just the doing, but the being. So just, being in a room, you shift things. And this is as weird as this might sound, this is not just, being in a physical room, being anywhere, your presence. Let's say you're in a chat room, your presence without your speaking changes the frequency. So don't ever feel like you need to teach. I'm not saying don't teach, because for those that have that in them, it's just gonna flow out of them, whether they like it or not, apparently. And um, so yeah, you guys, things are so bad I'm talking about the general public, everybody. Things are so bad that a lot of internal shifts are just, there is no escaping anymore. I mean, I'm sure some people will get to escape, which is not really the best thing. Because it feels really good to be on the side where the tension within is like not really there. And if it's there, it's really loud, as in like you're so super sensitive to it. You don't really like, no, that stuff doesn't live within you anymore, because you're really sensitive to it. You don't just let it sit there. It gets worked out right away, I guess. And when that tension's absent, it's such a it's just it's a really good way to live. um it's just being. But yeah, the point is that I see, like, the shift is here. It's unfolding. Obviously it's not going to be pretty. Change is just, it's messy. Always going back to, the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly. It has to be really gooey. That's very chaotic within, the chrysalis. But something beautiful emerges. Yeah, just the thought entered, because before, the feeling in the air was like, wow, things are just getting worse and worse. People are just not okay. I mean, to the point where people aren't able to date anymore, like realistically date, like successfully date. And this is not everybody, but majority, because it's gotten that bad. The internal mess got that bad. All the external propaganda that has influenced people's minds, it got really, really bad. People just like it's not that hard to know how to be a decent human, but people just like lost on that. Yeah, things are just, they're changing, they're shifting, they're changing. I feel it, I can breathe it, like I can sense it through my breath, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, I feel it. It's not gonna happen right now, as in it's not gonna be visible right now. The change is happening right now, but not visible right now. Things need to change, right? They need to actually shift, and then they need to settle. Yeah, but people being brought down to their knees and allowing things to change. us not allowing has been a really big problem. But since there's just no options for people, they're getting there, they're getting to this place, and collectively we're rising higher. um yeah, higher octave, whatever you want to call it. It's collective. I, I heard somebody, you know what, should I not speak about it yet? Yeah, I think I'll bring it up another time. Let's just say collectively we are rising. The darkness, there's also light, right? The light, I feel it winning. Yeah. Again, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna open the window tomorrow and just, you know, it's a collective thing. And we're way more interconnected than we could imagine. We truly are all just the universe, or whatever word you want to use. That's different facets, and we are all rising. The energy of New Earth has been unfolding through all of us. And yeah, it's at that point where it's just palpable, it's here, it's unfolding. It also means that the darkness, the chaos, whatever you want to call it, is just gonna thrash even harder. And we're here for it. We are arriving eventually, you know, slowly, at different pace, to the other side. And, you know, it being bad, the worse it gets, the more, you know, conscious you are, I guess, the more you're capable of the gratitude for the little things that you have. And if humanity does this, we could like start to appreciate each other. Oh my God. Can you imagine a world where we appreciate each other? Because again, here's like, us as humans, we're not perfect. We never will be. And that's not necessary, as long as we are being ourselves. As long as our intent is not to hurt anybody, and if we do, let's say, that we could learn from it. Our intentions is that they are to rise. Our intentions are to rise. And we are. And I see us arriving at a place where because we're grateful to be around each other, and we're not going to be taking each other for granted if we're smart about it, right? If we're moving up. If we don't take each other for granted, we live in a different world. Depression, loneliness, all of those things, just all of those, everything. Just appreciate each other as we are. And the more we do that towards one another, the more we rise in frequency, we will be uplifting each other. That's where we need to be. Appreciating each other. You know? And understanding that there is no perfect. Appreciating the material world, not materialism, but the material world. Because you have to be in harmony with it for you to be at a frequency that's high. You're supposed to be emitting this frequency and infusing it into the physical. That's how you're bringing New Earth forward. And it's contagious, and it's spreading, and people are going to be falling apart. Likely just behind closed doors, but you know, I don't know. But the point of this whole conversation is we're going down, down, down. There's only so much a person can take until they wake up. There's only so much a person can take. Yep. And so we've been rising. We're continuing to rise. And the hope on the other side of this rainbow, on the other side of this bridge, whatever you want to call it, will grow in here, in the internal, will grow in the heart, will grow in the way we relate to one another, and we're shifting. Hope is not lost, even though it's the darkest and continues to get darker. I mean, it really is getting ridiculous. Date is May 11th, 2026. I don't know why I can never state the date correctly. We're only going forward, and we're only going up, even though it looks on the external like things are just falling apart, but they have to. The poison, the impurities, whatever you want to call them, they need to rise to the top. Right? We're doing whatever is done to gold. Right? The impurities go up. And that's what's happening. This is harmonization. This is scalar harmonization. Of our world. And the impurities, they're bubbling up. They're coming to the surface. You know, the wounds, distortions, whatever that needs to come up. This is scalar harmonization for the world. Things that are poisoning need to, so they could be seen and they could be dealt with. And this is how we continue to get closer to the origin, the original blueprint. The distortions, they come up, they get dealt with, and what's left? The origin. I remember years ago, I was frustrated and I was like, I don't even remember something about, okay, spirituality, purifying oneself. And I was like, what are we, 30? I don't know why, like I did understand, the darkness needs to come up and be cleared, be dealt with. But I don't understand why I had that reaction. But it's exactly that. It is purification. It's not that we are dirty. It's just, this is the state of the world. And yeah, we are. It is purification. You live and you learn. I learned. Even though I don't understand why there was confusion, because I understand, the light and the dark needs to be transmuted. And that is in itself purification. Yeah, I don't know why I had that reaction. But we're there. We are purifying. The stuff is on the surface. And we're doing our thing. Hope. It's there. Reach out, because like if you think about, what I just said, the wholeness of it, there's hope in that. It's getting so dark, right? What happens before the dawn? That there is no choice but, for the sun to rise again. That's just the cyclical nature of reality. So yeah, we're getting there. You feel that? It feels so good to have things cleared. I've never had this life. I've never had a life of lightness. This is my first time, like this period of my life. Like I've cleared things out. And I'm sure there's debris, let's call it, that needs to still get cleared out. But yeah, my God, I went through the work. Yeah, and being capable of scalar harmonization, it's been a really fast process. And I'm not sure if this has anything to do with scalar harmonization exactly. Well, yeah. But yeah, it's the fact that I'm able to anchor geometry, in the subtle reality, from basically where reality eventually gets into the denser forms and becomes in the in a solid form. But yeah, the fact that I'm able to, I guess, do scalar encoding or anchor geometry, and everything, yeah, like the changes happen fast for me. I guess what I'm saying is my journey has been really, really sped up, because I'm not building at this point, where I'm at. I'm no longer building through you know, like each little tiny thing through, let's say, 21 days or whatever, how long it would take to build, for, you know, an individual. I basically kind of encoded, like the geometry basically becomes there, and then I guess it ripples out from there, and it becomes more of the reality. But the point is, I'm not doing it from the physical, I'm doing it from the origin point, I guess, or the root, you know, the really subtle. And yeah, I've been lucky that way because I'm able to make changes happen really fast. And I think that's why I am where I am on this journey at this point in time. And it feels very weird. Um, I feel like I, I feel like I receive a lot of, I don't understand what you're talking about, and I I wish to be less, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, point is, I'm getting into tangents now. The point is, things are looking up. In the fact that the changes have been made already in the higher realms. So things are coming up. So things are starting to look darker, even though those things have been here already. You know, it's not like anything new's arriving. It's just coming to the surface to be seen and to be dealt with. And we're not stagnant. We're not lost. We're aware of where we're at, of, you know, aware of what's coming up and what we're looking at. We're dealing with it. We really are, as annoying as everything is. We're dealing with it, which absolutely means this is just natural law that from this point we're going up, you know, that the sun is rising. We are rising, you guys, even if it looks really bad. You know, generally looking at things, just, it's been weird. But again, we're getting there, you guys. All right, I think that's it. The sun is rising, you guys. We're gonna be okay. There's hope. We have reached we have reached that place where we are on our knees, or falling down to our knees as the collective. This is a better place than we were before because we're dealing with it now. We have nowhere else to go but up from here. Because before I was just like, ignoring, not dealing, being lost. But yeah, I can see people will start eventually, you know, once they figure out their own stuff, which could take a while. But people will be able to relate to themselves kinder, therefore other people kinder. Good things are coming, you guys. Just give it some time. It won't happen overnight, over a week, over a month, but only up from here, okay, you guys? There's hope. And I'm glad I finally feel that. Let me know if you feel that as well. Or how do you feel? I, I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it through. We are, okay? But the point is that there's freaking hope, okay? All right. I will see you guys later. Bye.